may well be the start of today's video, but I'm not sure just yet. I'm kind of thinking it's Gladys Day. Not the day that Gladys comes out, or a lady called Gladys Day, but Gladys... well, basically a day about Gladys. Next week, oh no, this week actually, I will be driving this as my main car. So I want to make sure that not only does it look shiny, which is obviously more important than anything else, but is mechanically sound. And I think it is, because I did drive it back from Preston or Lancaster or wherever it was, one of those northern places that nobody's ever heard of. Well, typically I have found a problem. The problem is called binding brake. Now hopefully that will just be because it's been stood around for a while. The trouble with binding brakes is they can just kind of happen when a car's not being in use. They can quickly unbind themselves, which is quite useful. You can usually tell whether they're binding or not by how easily the car comes to a stop. If it comes to a stop without touching the brakes, then it's because the brakes are already on a little. Look, and it's rolling okay. Touch the brake. Yeah, you can hear it ever so slightly. It's probably not too bad actually. Moving the car around the yard, it doesn't show any symptoms of binding brakes at all. That's strange. Well, even I roll around the yard and it feels free, the wheel doesn't really want to move very easily. Look at that. Well, there's quite a bit of vibration there. Now, is it too late in the day to try and do a proper video? It's a bit difficult to get things done when it's cold and dark, especially when you get distracted by nipping out with a Mercedes and messing about with the heat gun, but never mind. Should we continue? Should I continue? Another thing that really needs to be sorted out in this car before I use it is going to be the issue with a bit of mould going on. So, let's do that now. I'm not sure why there's a mouldy patch just there. Oh, there's a bit on the seat as well. Oh, I know. That's better. Yes. You know, this carpet looks rather... It's kind of reminiscent of... an old working man's club in many ways. Oh no, I missed a bit there. I was just going to say that it's not coming up too well just yet, but maybe what I actually need is a wet and dry. And I didn't actually see that bit there. Why didn't I see it? No, that's on. Switch on. Switch on. Why are you not going on? You are doing now. This mouldy patch there, that wants to come up. Yeah, that's better, thank you. That's a lot better, thank you very much. In the back we have more evidence of wrongdoings. Well, that must be a seat that somebody's been eating crisps on, and a floor where they've been flicking bits of food. Otherwise it wouldn't really just go in places like that. You see, mould is much like a horse. If you feed it, it'll grow. Right there, so there, with a quick vacuum, some of it's come up. But the mould starts to stain, and it's in the seat. It needs washing out. So, just like the working man's club with the red carpet, it smells. But it doesn't smell of beer, which obviously would be quite inappropriate. Then again, if it did have beer spilt on it, would it have that? Yeah, beer could feed that mould. Yeah, Beer could do. It's probably more likely to be crisps though. The date is the 28th. That means I've only got tomorrow and the day after before I'll be using Gladys. And it's just struck me that I've not been out anywhere in Alfie for ages, and I love this car. And there's always a possibility that I may end up selling it soon. So this could be my last drive in it, you never know. Imagine that. That would be curious. As curious as a carrot eating a rabbit, but probably more likely. Do you know what's funny about driving along with your interior lighting in the dark? It means that people can see you. It means that if anybody knows who I am, they'll spot me and they'll see me talking to myself about this very subject and go home and think, yeah, oh, I say balls, I say, that's a bit of a tailback. I don't really want to be in a tailback. I don't want to be in a tailback. Mind you, who does? Maybe there are some about who make a hobby of it. If you like being in tailbacks, do let me know in the comments. Though don't go into too much detail. Now, speaking of binding brakes, this one's binding a bit. And come to think of it, on its MOT, it did have an advisory for binding a little bit. And it wasn't a lot. And I just reassured my MOT man that it's probably just because it's not been in use. And, you know, that was quite clearly the case, because now it's not been in use for a couple of weeks, it's wanting to stick on. Don't want to replace another caliper. Binding brakes. It's a Rover thing. In the boot of my car I have a vacuum cleaner, but not an ordinary vacuum cleaner. No, one of those wet and dry vacuum cleaners belonging to Senior Mustard himself, where the carpet of Gladys shall be well and truly red again. Let's get rid of some of that whatever it's causing it to go mouldy. Good idea. Good idea. Good idea. I'm full of good ideas. Some of them are good ideas. We seem to have a problem today with the clouds not staying in the sky. That's you don't belong on the ground, you belong up there. Up there. Temporary traffic lights. They enable men in high-vis jackets to walk around the road, put signs up, which would otherwise be in the way. The vacuum cleaner has decided it doesn't want to stay on its wheels and wants to get in the box. Righto, back to the job of cleaning up this lovely car. I want this ready to go today, except it won't be going out of the yard until Thursday. And now for some floor cleaning with some pine jelly, which of course isn't the correct article, but I'm sure it will do. I'm reasonably sure it will do. I couldn't do that before I stopped eating bread. Well, I really have chucked in quite a lot of water here, so let's hope it comes up lovely once it's vacuumed out. Yeah. Yeah, they cleaned up and they cleaned up all the seats, and they're gonna do the carpet in a minute, and I'll learn every bit a minute of it. What a wonderful little job this is. Oi! What are you doing?
Hello.
What are you doing up there?
Alright.
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Chilling.
Fishing?
Tossing.
Tossing? Eating a sandwich.
Pardon?
Eating.
Right, hang on. Wait, 24 a bit.
Ah, good. Hello. That's the first go over with the wet and dry vacuum cleaner. And as you can see, it looks considerably cleaner. Considerably indeed. What will the water look like inside there? Not as much as I was expecting. Guess what? I'm going to give it another go. That's definitely a bit more red now. That's so much nicer. I'm happy with that. Yep. The only problem I'm going to have is having this carpet dry out. I don't think it's going to dry out for days, especially while it's this cold. So, what's the solution? Windows open? Yep. Hairdryer? No. Too expensive on electric. Heat gun? Leave the engine running? Nope. So, Gladys, there is one more thing to do with you before you come home with me. There's more than one thing. I need to polish that boot, but there's more than one thing. Well, I need to redo the roof as well, but there is just one more thing. There. That's better. I was just about to set off out home then. It's nearly 5 o'clock. It's cold. My back hurts. But then I remembered something. I just want to do this first. You see this glass here? The window goes up and the window goes down, but it's not entirely in the correct place, which means it wants to flop off out and possibly try and push its way right out of the top of the door and smash on the ground, and that wouldn't be a good thing. In case you've never seen it before, this is what the inside of the door looks like. With this stuff, that's unusual. Usually this is really nasty, sticky stuff, but this has kind of gone hard. Which is good in some ways, because it means I'm not going to get the curse of the synthetic snot all over my digits. Look at that door handle there. It looks like a hippo having a drink. Anyway, it looks like what I'm going to have to do is take out the window regulator and the glass to actually fix this. Yes. Oh dear, what a chore. No, hang on. All I've got to do is take the glass out. Take the glass out and then refit it so it's on the correct side of the seal. So you can see very clearly here that the glass isn't quite sitting right. So there's just one small job to do before I do go home. Okay, the best thing to do at this moment is give up.